I just got back from vacation and I'm very tired, but a cool item came out. Well, is coming out. It's currently on Vulture called the H.A.R.M.P.A.C.K. I will also do the Ask Me Anything question video tomorrow. I was thinking about answering each one individually in the comments, but then I realized I got like 200 of them and I didn't want to do that on vacation. But either way, we'll get to that. Dual wielding technology is a tier 2 arsenal tech that will contain the H.A.R.M.P.A.C.K. When I first saw the word dual wielding, I thought that would actually mean you'd be able to shoot two guns at once, like actual like using two hands at once. But no, that's not what it means. It means it actually just gives you two extra arms as an item. So when you research this, you can make it out of proto-lathe or a sec fab. It is called the H.A.R.M.P.A.C.K. Obviously, as I just mentioned, it costs 20 steel, 10 plastic, 5 plasma, 5 gold. So it's not incredibly expensive. If you shift click it, it'll say now you can reload, punch, and eat a snack simultaneously. And when you equip it, it just goes on your back like so. It's very Dr. Ock inspired, I would say. It's like just these mechanical octopus style arms coming off of you. You basically get to turn into an arachnid for free. But if you look down here at the bottom of your toolbar, you will see you have four hands. You can do X to cycle right, Shift X to cycle left. And yes, this is just like having two extra hands. So I can go into a million hypotheticals of how strong this is, but having two extra hands was a thing that arachnids had, and when they had four hands, and they were really, really unstoppable in combat scenarios, but of course they still had a backpack slot, so things were definitely different. So some primary examples I could think of this being incredibly useful is if you're using something like a WT550, you can have three extra hands. Yeah, you're losing a backpack slot, but you could theoretically just carry a backpack if you wanted, and you're gaining an extra hand slot out of that. So you're essentially adding a whole, like you'll essentially have three hands and still have your storage. Of course, you can still slip or get stunned and drop everything. So there's negatives there. It's not like exclusively a benefit, but if you're a syndicate, you can guarantee you never get slipped again, and you could definitely avoid stuns if you buy the right equipment. So it's really about utilizing your kit, but I don't think they're just inherently like, oh, I have four hands, I win every scenario, especially since Nukis can't get their hands on this, which Arachnid Nukis were terrifying when they had four hands. But yeah, the extra four hands is really good if you like want to combo it with like more defensive items. So say you just get something like a any form of shield, like a laser shield, a bullet shield. This can massively extend your life, and you can even hide the fact that I have a WT in my hand right now. If you shift click the person, it will still say that, but the actual sprite, it's completely invisible that I have a WT in my hand, which can absolutely surprise people. So there is definitely a stealth factor in this regard. Like even if you move the shield in to like a different hand, like say I put it in my left hand, the WT just like starts disappearing. You can't like actually see um the items physically held in the extended arms. So just as a like little piece of advice or possible way of using these arms, if you want to actually hide something in your hands in plain sight, just put it in the extended arm slots. You could do this by just having it selected. So yeah, a little bit of a stealth factor there. I think that's an interesting possibility. So I see people using this to simultaneously dual wield shields and a gun. If you're using a gun that needs to be wielded, you'll still have two extra hands, so you can actually have a gun wielded and reload. So like, let me just get a Lecter or something and an extra magazine for it, because you can very, very easily do this type of stuff. So I literally have my backpack. I have a Lecter in one hand, so I just put the magazine in. I can wield it, and the wielding can look weird on the hotbar because I'm wielding it with my extended hand, and look, the gun will disappear again. So the element of surprise is still there. And you can just grab the extra mag and just pop it in and out. Never had to do anything. And of course, if you're a lizard, you can still drag people while having a wielded gun, while having an extra magazine in your hand, while having a backpack in your hand. You still have your pockets, you still have your suit slot, you still have your belt. So, like, things like you could potentially consider losing the backpack and using something like a chest rig, because a chest rig lets you put magazines and stuff in it. Always a possibility as well. Could also even potentially consider the Syndicate shoulder holster, because this is actually a 4x4, and this lets you put things like a WT in it. You could actually put the whole Lecter in it and carry this on your belt slot instead, and keep your hands ready, keep your suit slot ready. Really up to you. That one TC purchase might look more enticing if you're running this specific combo. Anyways, I can rant on forever. Potentially the strongest element of the H.A.R.M.P.A.C.K. is actually when you go to handcuff somebody, you have to use two handcuffs or else they won't lose all their hands. So if you look at the strip menu, we'll see that we actually only handcuff their normal hands, but their extended hands are still free. So if they had a gun in that hand, they could still shoot you the second they get back up. So trying to cuff somebody without two officers present, if you down them, could be very, very dangerous. They could potentially, I mean, well, the gun wouldn't be in their hand because they would obviously drop it to fall over, but they could pick it right back up if you're trying to simultaneously cuff them, juggle your own equipment, pick up gun on the ground. So this could be a massive boon as well to avoiding arrest, or at least not getting fully destroyed when you get caught in an arrest situation. And just to showcase this, if I do actually have an extra item in this, I could still swap to a WT or something and shoot them, even though my hands are cuffed. I will say uncuffing yourself is a little weird with this because you don't actually have the restraint symbol. So I see people getting cuffed and not knowing how to fix it yourself, but you can always right click yourself and click unrestrain. You of course still have to stand still though, but yes, you can wriggle out of your restraints, but I don't believe there's any way to actually take your cuffs off faster yourself, even though you technically have your own arms free. Either way, it's a little jank, I think, because you don't have the restrained UI indicator as if you like actually restrained. I wanted to do a short video as my return. I am ready for sleep. Thank you guys for watching. Very cool tech. I really hope to see people use their Doc Ock dual wielding, quad wielding L6s or something. We need to see.